Hey everyone, it's Sharon and greetings to you. I am so excited to share with you my aha moments this week. I have been on vacation and I so needed water. I didn't realize that, like many of you, I was carrying a lot of residue from COVID, from grief, from the social justice challenges, from the civil unrest, from all the things that had happened during 2020 and 2021. And so just being by the water, allowing myself to be cleansed of all of the residue and all of the trials and all of just the challenges have really given me a new lease on life and have really positioned me to embark on 2022 with greater love, with greater self compassion, and with greater ease. And during my time by the beach, I thought of three things that were not only holding me back, but three things that I have learned from talking to people on their own cleansing journey this week by the beach that were holding other people back. And one thing was that many of us were holding grudges. We were holding grudges because people had hurt us, maybe days ago, decades ago, and we had not released them or ourselves from carrying the fear, carrying the rejection, carrying just the anger. And because we were carrying and holding grudges, we were not allowing spaciousness in our lives for new opportunities, for new love, for new experiences, because our grudges were crowding out places in our hearts, places in our minds, and places in our spirits for newness, for new beginnings, for new revelations. So ask yourself, are you holding grudges anywhere in your life? And how are those grudges benefiting you? And how are those grudges pushing out space that you need to begin anew, to begin afresh, to begin with joy? The second thing we realize is that many of us have been holding our peace. Now, I think sometimes we don't realize how important it is to share our truth, to be listened to be heard, to be witnessed. And sometimes when we keep our problems, keep our issues to ourselves, we don't give ourselves the benefit of release, but we don't give ourselves the benefit of hearing a new revelation or a new perspective from a coach, a counselor, a trusted advisor. So think about your life and ask yourself, are there places where you are holding your peace and how holding your peace is not bringing peace? Maybe holding the peace is making you sit with feelings, sit with problems, sit with feelings about maybe your boundaries being bulldozed, maybe your feelings not being considered, maybe you are feeling burdened because you're keeping your peace and you're not speaking up. So ask yourself, where do you need to say what's on your mind? Because sometimes the only way to make peace is by breaking the peace so that your feelings can be heard and known. And then the third thing I wonder if you are holding on is holding yourself hostage. Now, when I think about and talk about holding yourself hostage, I'm really thinking about holding yourself hostage to old beliefs, old identities, holding yourself hostage to old guilt, an old shame, holding yourself hostage to perspectives and personas and masks and all of the stuff that keep us locked into operating and navigating in life from a place of dishonesty and being inauthentic. And I think sometimes we hold on to who we used to be or where we are because just the fear of the unknown. But if we have learned anything in 2021, we have learned that nothing is predictable and we must be agile and adaptable to change so that we can move and be able to deal with the vicissitudes of life. So, are you holding yourself hostage? But also, I want you to ask yourself, are you holding yourself hostage to something that you used to want? And maybe you used to want to be a doctor, but you don't want to do it anymore. And maybe you used to want to be married, but you don't want to be married anymore. I think sometimes when we have invested a lot of money and a lot of time and education and pedigrees and certifications and careers, we think we have to stay. And when we allow our careers, our former relationships to be prisons and not the places of possibility or the places of promise that we initially thought they were, or maybe they were 30 years ago. I think it's so unwise that our culture expects us to make decisions when we are 20 that are still true for us when we are 40, 50, and 60. And so ask yourself, are you holding yourself hostage to a career, to a job, to a state of being, to a faith belief that don't really support you now? So 3 things. Are you holding grudges that are keeping you filled with resentment and bitterness? Are you holding the peace and not speaking out, which is really keeping you feeling overwhelmed, unsupported, unheard? And are you holding yourself hostage to places, identities, characteristics, careers that are making you feel like a prisoner in your life? So I hope these 3 areas give you reflection and really challenge you to think about your life. And if you feel like you are holding grudges, holding your peace, and holding yourself hostage, and you're interested in reconsidering how to do those things differently, I want you to consider working with me or working with the coach, but hopefully it's me. And I know that through our time together, we can usher you into a new way of living, a new way of being, a new way of feeling, so that you feel empowered and honored, and also that you can feel liberated and self-led in a way that makes your heart sing. Blessings to you, and thanks so much for listening. Remember, reach out to me. I'm here for you. I'm here with you as we journey through this precious thing called life together. Blessings.